In the early hours of Valentine's Day 2000, a 9-year-old girl left her home in Shelby, North Carolina. It was still dark outside. A winter storm was moving through the area. Rain was falling, and temperatures were cold. The child carried a small backpack and walked out into the night. Her name was Asha Degree. This video discusses the disappearance of a child. All information shared is based on publicly available reports and statements from law enforcement. No speculation is presented as fact. Asha Degree was 9 years old when she disappeared. She lived with her parents and her older brother in a quiet residential neighborhood. By all accounts from family members, teachers, and investigators, Asha was a cautious and well-behaved child. She followed rules. She stayed close to home. She was deeply connected to her family. There was nothing in Asha's history to suggest she was unhappy or planning to run away. In fact, her parents have repeatedly said that Asha was afraid of the dark. That detail has remained central to this case. Investigators and family members have emphasized it because it directly conflicts with what happened next. Whatever caused Asha to leave her home required her to do something completely out of character, alone, in the middle of the night, during a storm. Sunday, February 13, 2000, began like any other. Asha attended church with her family earlier in the day. That evening, she was home. There were no reports of arguments, discipline, or unusual behavior. Nothing that stood out as a warning sign. As the night went on, weather conditions in the area began to change. Rain moved in, and wind picked up. By the early morning hours, it was cold and wet outside. There is no indication that Asha told anyone she planned to leave, or that her family noticed anything unusual before going to bed. Sometime between approximately 2:30 and 6:30 in the morning, Asha left her home. Those hours are important. They represent a window of time when most of the household and the neighborhood was asleep. Asha packed a small backpack. She put on jeans, sneakers, and a white nightshirt. She did not wake her parents or her brother, and there were no signs of forced entry or struggle inside the home. When Asha's mother went to wake her for school later that morning, Asha's bed was empty. At first, her parents believed she might be somewhere else in the house, but as they searched room by room, it became clear that Asha was gone. Law enforcement was notified, and a search began almost immediately. As the investigation unfolded, information emerged that changed how authorities understood what had happened. Several motorists came forward to report seeing a small child walking alone along Highway 18 during the early morning hours. These sightings occurred before sunrise, while it was still raining. One driver reported becoming concerned enough to turn his vehicle around to check on the child. When he did, the child ran off the road and disappeared into the nearby woods. These details mattered to investigators. They suggested that Asha had not simply vanished from her home. She had traveled on foot along a roadway during severe weather conditions, and she had actively avoided at least one attempt at contact. Those sightings helped narrow the search area and confirmed that Asha was alive after leaving her house. Search teams focused on the area near where Asha had reportedly been seen. During that search, investigators discovered a small shed located off the highway. Inside, they found items believed to belong to Asha, including candy wrappers and a pencil. The items suggested that someone had been inside the shed recently, possibly seeking shelter from the storm. However, Asha herself was not found in the area. Despite extensive searches, there were no further confirmed sightings of her after that morning. More than 20 years later, in August of 2001, a discovery brought renewed attention to the case. A construction worker uncovered a backpack buried along a highway in Burke County, North Carolina. The backpack had been wrapped in plastic. Inside were items confirmed to belong to Asha. The location was significant. Burke County is more than 25 miles from Asha's home. How the backpack ended up there, who placed it there, and when, has never been publicly explained. More than 2 decades later, Asha Degree has never been found. No arrests have been made, and no suspects have been publicly named. Investigators have stated they believe someone knows what happened to Asha. Her family continues to seek answers and has never stopped advocating for her case to remain visible. Asha Degree was 9 years old when she walked out into the storm. What happened after that moment remains unknown. Her case is still open, and her story still matters. Subscribe to APB True Crime for more real cases told with clarity and care.